fights with passion, and he inspires.
Are you ready for a war?
All right, welcome back to From A to Arbitration. I'm going to have 2 episodes today, all right? The first one is going to be all safety tips, things that we're going to do to help ourselves, whether clothing, hydration, rest breaks, whatever in the heat. We're going to do that today. Going to be a lot of reading. I got a lot of things that I'm going to cover, okay? But that's just where we are. We're right here starting. Probably should have done this 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'll continue to do this. I'll do it next week probably, and then the next week, because nothing's more important than our safety. Nothing is more, not a thing. Mail, nothing. Nothing is more important than me going home the way I went to work, okay? So, safety. Safety, safety, safety. Then later today, I'm going to do another episode, and that's going to be with Mr. Rob Cozier, and he's going to come on. We're going to talk some more safety. We'll cover a few grievances, all right? But this morning, it's all safety tips, just things to help us out, all right? Going to cover a few things before then, then I'm going to read some screenshots, kind of setting everything up for us when we talked about safety. Because the employer does not care if we die or not on the street. And that pisses people off when I say that. They think that I'm so callous, so coarse when I say that. Let me say it again. The employer does not care if we die on the street. So we will take care of ourselves, okay? And if they try to issue discipline, we will make sure that we have things in our case file that support our position of safety over numbers, okay? Because they will, and they already have. I had one individual, I'm going to say it because I'm getting ahead of myself, but sent me some discipline where a young lady came back off the route. They try to send her back out, and she's like, hey, look, it is hot out there. It's hot. I don't think that I can make it if I go back out. I'm giving you a direct order because you did not notify us during the day that you were getting overcome by heat. Well, listen to me. Listen. I know my body better than anyone else, okay? I know what my body goes through on my route better than anyone else. I do not have to be on the brink of death to avoid going out back out to work, right? I don't have to be on the doorsteps of dying, okay, to not be sent back out to work. If I feel that it's coming on or that I may be having some kind of adverse reaction to the sun or heat, I'm not going back out because safety depends on me. But they issued this young lady a letter of warning because she did not go back out and do a takeoff when she told them that I'm not feeling well. Well, you didn't tell us during the day you weren't feeling well. We're just now hearing it just right now that you're not feeling well. Well, I'm going to make it through my route. If I come back in, I'm going to be thankful that I didn't die. But yes, absolutely. My safety will come before the mail, before numbers, before management. Again, they do not care if we die on the street. It's who they are. And we'll cover some things today, and I'm going to prove my point. All right? If I was in arbitration, I'm going to make a prima facie case today. We had the event in Cookeville yesterday. Fantastic event. The meet and greet had Dana Chambliss, who will be the next business agent, Region 8. Had Tom Rooney come down. He's running for business agent. He came down just for support. What a fantastic individual. But David Grosskopf was there. He spoke. Rob Cozier came down. Him and his whole family drove down. And they spoke. JB, my main man, he spoke. James Henry spoke. I did, as well as Dana Chambliss. And it was a fantastic time. Had people from all over the state. We had individuals drive, no joke, 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours to come to that event. And several people around different branches around through there came. So, fantastic time. Fantastic time. Now, this Thursday, we'll be in Chatsworth, California, okay? And we're going to be there, branch 2902 in Chatsworth, California. We'll be there Thursday, the 18th. So, y'all make sure to have plans to come out and see us, okay? Day before holiday. day before Juneteenth. Y'all come out, spend the night talking to us. We'll be answering questions, whatever. We're going to have a great time. So y'all make sure y'all come see us. That'll be James and I. I've got something to read that was sent to us. And it's dealing with campaigning on the floor and what the do's and don'ts, okay? And this was sent to us because we had some inquiries about things that were going on with individuals campaigning on the workroom floor. Now, I know the individual came out with a video saying that it was BS. Let me talk about all this BS about this. Shit is real. This shit is real. And the reason it pisses me off is when we win, I don't want any distraction. I don't want anybody to say, well, look, because he did this, we were shortchanged or we didn't have equal access or whatever. I don't want that. And somebody said the other day about Corey saying that we were going to appeal it. I never said that. Matter of fact, I said the opposite of that. I said that James was going to win handily. I just don't want somebody else to be able to file some kind of charge or get the Department of Labor, whatever, involved because of stupidity. But I never said that we were going to do anything because I said James is going to win. But this was sent out. Y'all need to pay attention because it helps us. Management has been doing a lot of things to interfere, not with this particular side, but just with us, period, trying to promote whoever. And so management is saying, hey, you can't wear that. You got to take that off. You can't come in here with that. They're wrong. And so here's the Postal Service's position. Now, this is dated June 2nd, 2026, okay? Officers and executives, managers, human resources, managers, labor relations, subject guidelines for supervisors during union election activities. Enclosed are guidelines setting forth the do's and don'ts for supervisors and managers regarding various activities of union officials during bargaining unit elections. The guidelines reflect relevant decisions by the National Labor Relations Board. Please ensure that the guidelines are appropriately disseminated. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact James Lloyd, and y'all know him because he's Barner's counterpart. Do's and don'ts for postal supervisors union elections. The following are guidelines for postal supervisors to follow during union elections. It is important to note that if, after referring to the below guidelines, a supervisor has any question relating to the propriety of the activity that is being conducted, he should immediately contact Labor Relations at his post office or district to determine whether the planned action is proper. Supervisors should remain neutral. 1. Do remain neutral with respect to union elections. 2. Do not express an opinion with respect to the qualifications or your preferences for any candidate. 3. Do not give special treatment or preferences to one candidate over another. Campaigning and electioneering by employees. 4. Do allow employees of your facility to campaign for themselves or on behalf of other candidates for union office if they A. are on non-work time. Official break periods, i.e. coffee and lunch breaks, are considered non-work time. And B. are in a non-work area. Non-work areas are break areas and swing rooms. 5. Do permit employees to discuss election matters on the workroom floor if talking is normally allowed while employees are working. And we're allowed to talk. So, as in all cases of employees' conversations, it is assumed that employees will continue working and that no other employees are disrupted from their work activity. 6. Do not permit an employee from another post office or postal facility inside your facility for the purpose of campaigning. Employees from another post office or postal facility may, however, distribute campaign literature in employee parking lots and at the employee entrances to the facility as long as it does not disrupt work activities or create a genuine safety hazard. 7. If your postal facility consists of more than one geographical location, an employee should be restricted to campaigning or electioneering in his own work site unless his normal work duties bring him to other locations, or if employees are permitted access to all locations for any purpose regardless of whether they normally perform their work. If access to other locations is given for work purposes only, i.e., the employee does not have a normal break or swing period at the second location, then he should not be permitted to engage in campaigning at the other location, since it will be presumed that he is on work time. However, if the employee is permitted to use the swing facilities of another location, or if postal employees are allowed free access to the swing facilities of all locations within a postal facility, then they may engage in campaigning activities so long as it is off the clock and in a non-work area. 8. Do not allow employees who are properly campaigning or distributing literature to disrupt other employees who are working. 9. Do not permit speeches in break areas to take place which disrupt activities on the workroom floor. 10. Do not permit an employee who is either on a break or off the clock to engage a working employee in the conversation on the workroom floor. And I know that this came up because people are trying to justify other people making videos of themselves campaigning on the floor saying that they were off the clock. Doesn't matter. It says, do not permit an employee who is either on a break or off the clock to engage a working employee in conversation on the workroom floor. And so when you see videos of people light blue surrounding an individual campaigning, that's a violation. Distribution of literature and posting on bulletin boards. 11. Do allow employees to distribute election literature in non-work areas on non-work time as long as it does not interfere with or disrupt the activities of working employees. 12. Do permit employees to distribute literature on non-work time in employee parking lots and at the employee entrances to the facility as long as it does not disrupt work activities or create a genuine safety hazard. 13. Do not allow distribution of literature of any kind on the workroom floor. And so we had numerous people sending us pictures of individuals going into workplaces, leaving their literature on cases inside carriers' cases on the workroom floor. That's a violation. Do not participate in that. Again, I'll read it. Do not allow distribution of literature of any kind on the workroom floor. And so again, same individuals putting out their literature on the workroom floor is a violation. 14. Do not permit literature to be posted or distributed which advocates a strike, a slowdown, a sick end, etc., or which is scurrilous, slanderous, or libelous, or is on its face unsuitable. Unless the literature is plainly improper, advice should be sought from labor relations at your post office or at the district prior to taking any action. Where it is being distributed on postal property or posted, order the individual to cease and desist. Now that's funny that the Postal Service is going to say that we should be ordered to cease and desist. Now these are the same motherfuckers that are talking about we're weaponizing the cease and desist. Why don't they tell us to shall comply? Tell the employees, tell the individual to, they will comply. Failure to comply with a direct and clear order is a basis for having the individual removed from the postal premises. If the allegedly unsuitable written literature is already posted, before removing it, ask the individual or the union which has posted it to do so voluntarily. If the request is refused, then take the literature down, make a copy for your records, and return the original to the individual or the union involved. Said individual or union is free to grieve your action. It is incumbent upon the USPS manager to be able to support his position that the literature is unsuitable. In this regard, notation should be made of the time, date, place of distribution or posting, names of employees involved, and conversations held between employees and managers, including a notation indicating employees and managers who may have witnessed the conversation. 15. Do not authorize or place notices on union bulletin boards for candidates for union office, even though the union may have its candidates' flyers posted on the board. Article 22 of the National Agreement states, there shall be no posting or placement in literature racks except upon the authority of officially designated representatives of the union. 16. Do not express an opinion whether or not you believe the posting policies of the union of the contract are fair. If a candidate for election approaches you for permission to post a flyer somewhere on postal property, deny him access to any area other than the union bulletin boards. Refer him to Article 22 and give him the name of the designated union representative who can approve such a posting. Now listen, wearing buttons. Here's the thing that a lot of people have contacted us about. They're wearing our buttons and management's telling them to take them off. 17. Employees who do not deal with the public in the course of their duties may wear buttons, T-shirts, or similar apparel which urge a vote for the particular candidate. The legend must not be insulting or otherwise inappropriate. Employees such as letter carriers, window clerks, etc., who deal with the public in the course of their duties may not wear buttons or other campaign material while in the course of those duties. So, while you're on the workroom floor, you can wear T-shirts or buttons. When you're out on your route, you must have your postal uniform on. Okay? Visit by union officials. 18. Do permit union officials to conduct usual contract administration duties. 19. Do not allow a national, regional, or local union officer who is not a working employee of your facility to come on your premises for any reason without first seeking permission for headquarters, the region, or the local postmaster, respectively. 20. If a national, regional, or local union officer has received proper permission to enter your facility for purposes of contract administration, do not allow him to engage in any election-related activities. The union officer may, however, distribute campaign literature in the parking lot. 21. Do not allow a full-time union officer who was previously an employee of your facility but is currently in a leave status on your premises unless he has standing permission to enter the facility or has received permission from the appropriate postal official. If he has secured such permission, his time spent inside the facility is to be limited to purposes of contract administration. Do not permit him to engage in election-related activities. The union officer may, however, distribute campaign literature in the parking lot. So, again, going back to the video I saw where an individual said that it was BS and that they had permission. You cannot campaign on the workroom floor. That goes for anybody, and we should all know that, okay? But we have told members of the CLC, you cannot campaign on the floor. Can you wear buttons and shirts? Yes. Yes, you can, and we'll refer to that. But you cannot campaign on the workroom floor at any time, ever, period, regardless of your excuse or if you think it's BS, okay? Again, the CLC, when we win, we want to take over with no hindrances. We don't want anything to interfere with that whatsoever. Buffoonery or whatever it is, we don't want to have to deal with it, okay? I don't know what Renfro's going to do. I don't know if he's going to run or not. Some say he's not. Some say he is. If there's another party that jumps into the race, we don't want them to have an excuse that, hey, we want equal access, but we can't have it because it's against the law. But this individual put out videos of themselves, numerous stations, campaigning on the workroom floor. We don't want that to happen. Again, James Henry's going to win handily. We want to take over. We don't have to wait on anything to come about of any kind of appeal or whatever. All right? So there's that. And let's get into this reading. I got a lot of shit to read. But it's going to be dealing with our safety, okay? Safety and health. I've copied a bunch of stuff off just to show you, just to prove my point of where we're at, okay? And this is kind of management's mindset. When I tell you that they don't mind killing us, I'll always reference Brother Gates, okay? Keep it moving, beat the heat. They falsified his hip training and stuff like that. That was, when they falsified his hip training, they came out nationally in a paper and said, hey, we gave him this HIT training. So they know what they did was wrong, okay? They chose to, instead of own it, instead of saying we are doing things to try to correct it, instead of doing that, what they chose to do was lie. Now that would be an Exhibit A, okay? Instead of being truthful, when this man passed away, the first thing that the employer did was lie, okay? That would be Exhibit 1A or Exhibit A. So then you have other things that you see, okay? The falsification of HIP training. That's supposed to be vital training. I do believe that individual stated in that magazine, whatever it was, that it was vital. Well, look at here. I've got it right here. It's from the Area Retail and Delivery Operations Vice President. Here in the southern area, rising temperatures come early, which makes our focus on heat, illness, and injury prevention even more important. Our heat illness prevention program training is vital. That's their words. That's not mine. That's their words. It's vital. If it's vital, then it should not be falsified. Okay? That's my position. If something is vital, it should never be falsified. If it's falsified, it's not vital. Okay? So, you got this heat illness prevention training. They falsified it nationwide. Then you have the individual, I read it the other day, that stated, yesterday I went to the supervisor's desk to give them my $39.96, and I noticed 3 sheets of paper with every carrier's name on them and a signature next to each one. At the top it read, Fiscal Year 2026 Heat Illness Prevention Program Training Refresher. Guess who they didn't come into for a signature? So they've already started falsifying the training, okay? Here's another one to this vital training, okay? Somebody sent me. Hey, brother, hope all is well. I'm coming to a meeting come on Sunday and hope to meet you in person. Moving on to the business now, I have been out on comp for a shoulder surgery since January 2nd of 2026. I have not done any training since the academy other than stand-up talks. I looked in light blue today after listening to the new podcast and found that I have completed 25 trainings while off on comp and tons since the academy. I'm gathering a few others in the office that hate management and are willing to get in on the class action. And they start talking about the grievance. So here's an individual that's out on workman's comp. Looked into light blue. He's done 25 trainings since he's been out on workman's comp. When I tell you that these motherfuckers will lie and steal and cheat, that's what I'm telling you. When I tell you that I've seen the links that they will go to hurt my people, I'm trying to show you every week what I'm talking about. It is us against them. It will never be us together. It is us against them. Now, we will shake their hand and sit down and talk. They are our enemy all the time. There is nothing they won't do. They are the ultimate liars. We've got some liars in this union, but these motherfuckers are the ultimate liars. That's all they know how to do. So they have something on the desk the carrier saw with all these carrier signatures. Wasn't done. They got this training. I've been out on workman's comp. 25 trainings I've completed while I've been out. Here's some other things. Can you please give me the steps to take regarding management having carriers work in the office with no AC? 100-degree days here in Region 3. It is absolutely miserable. So in the office, it's 100 degrees. Okay? And every year they'll do that. They'll just cut off the fucking air on us because why? They want us to get out of the office. So they will jeopardize our well-being. They will jeopardize our health, right? For numbers' sake. I'll tell you that every week. All they care about is numbers. Here's some scanner messages, and I'll have some other things. Okay, staff, I know it is hot, but you all need to stop sitting in your vehicles because drags too many stationary events without delivery. Get your drink of water and keep moving. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. I'll read that again. This would look good in arbitration. Okay, staff, I know it's hot. Now, how do you know it's hot? Is it because you walked out to your car? Huh? Is it because somebody came in and said, ooh, shit, it's hot out there. Let me peek out there. Ooh, damn, it is hot. Shut the door and take your fat ass back into the office in the air conditioning? Okay, staff, I know it's hot. How about this? How about you go sit in the back of one of them vehicles for 10 hours in this heat? How about that? And then you'll know it's fucking hot. You know why they won't do that? Because you had some dumb fuck, I can't remember what it was, maybe Virginia, who told their managers to go do a $39.99 ride in the middle of the summer, and the supervisor that was in the back died. That's when you know it's hot. That's when you walk a mile in our shoes. Okay? When you sit in the back of that vehicle, we do it every single day. And you're going to have some dumb fuck sit there and say, okay, staff, I know it's hot, but you all need to stop sitting in your vehicles. You're right. If it's hot, I'm going to go sit in the air conditioning. That's what I'm going to go do. I'm going to go find a building and I'm going to go sit in that, in the air conditioning, and recoup. Drag too many stationary events without delivery. Okay? Here's another. Let's go, team. Don't slow down now. We're almost there. I've read some of these before. Let's go, team. What team are you talking about? You've been sitting on your ass all day, not doing shit except listening to a telecon. Eating. What are they eating? A bag of Funyuns. That's what they're eating. They're eating a bag of Funyuns. Drinking a 62-ounce Big Gulp. And going to talk about, to me, let's go team, don't slow down. I ain't got no choice but to slow down. You know why? Because I'm fucking tired. And I'm hot. And I'm exhausted. And just wait till these motherfuckers have me out there for 10 fucking hours. You want to talk about slow now? Mandate me to work a 10-hour schedule for a straight time rate. Your ass want to talk about slow? Fuck, I'll show you motherfuckers slow. And then come in, Corey, you're out showing some undertime. Fuck you. Fuck, and wait till fall. Wait till November, December. And them December parcels hit that ass on a 10-hour schedule. Fuck, we'll be doing 12 fucking hours for a regular day. Let's go, team, don't slow down. We're almost there. Almost where? Almost where? I'm out here fucking trying not to die. Dumb fucker. Here's another one. Kind of the thing is you're going to see an onslaught of this. You're going to see an onslaught of them coming after us, okay? Especially right here during the summer. Because they're going to say, hey, you got no volume. I need to be out there getting it moving, man, and get the fuck out of here. Hey, Corps management is walking the floor in the morning telling carriers their office time. That's a grievance. That's a violation of the DOAS memo. When the manager told me mine, I laughed and questioned the thin political mail. He pulled me aside and told me they're instructing to give us linear measurements. I asked who did. He said district sent out instructions to them. So district is doing this. You know why district's doing this? Because all district cares about is numbers. That is it. That is all district cares about is numbers. They don't care about my life, your children's lives. They don't give a damn. So they're telling them to do linear measurement. And base your leave times off linear measurement. Do you know what that is? That's DOAS. Why? Linear measurements go into DOAS. And DOAS will give you a projected leave time. That's DOAS. All right? He said he couldn't. When I showed him my political mail, I counted 100 pieces per inch, and his numbers are improper. Just another way they are stealing from us. You're right. You're right, brother. That is exactly what that is. Just beginning the summer months, we are still driving vehicles without air. This morning at my office, most carriers were called into the postmaster's office about stationary time. Mine specifically, 2 minutes. When is enough enough? How can they get away with this nonsense? Because your union has dropped the fucking ball on stationary events. That's why. That's why. Because your union had an opportunity back when these metrics came out, and they told us we're going to save 900 million hours or whatever it was on stationary time. How are you going to do that? Just like this. They brought us into the office this morning about stationary time. Mine, 2 minutes. Here's another scanner. Based on today's volume, you were under 30 minutes on mail and 30 minutes on parcels. Are you justifying your route as 8 hours? This is all part of the game plan for them. Based on today's volume, now that's DOAS. And mail and 30 minutes on parcels. That's DOAS and PET. Okay? Right now, every business agent should be doing non-stop training on DOAS and PET because that is where we are headed. That's where we're headed. I've done 15 episodes on DOAS and PET and 3996. Why? That's where we're headed. That's where management makes their money. Hey, Corey, you need to get out of the office, okay? Based on your mail volume, the linear measurement, it's only showing that you've got, 42 minutes of office time or 33 minutes of office time or 27 minutes of office time. You need to be getting out or we might be calling you into the office, okay? And people that don't know any better are fucking doing it. Limit exposure to the sun by finding shade to take authorized breaks. Now, what's an authorized break? Because I've always been told take breaks as needed in the heat. To take authorized breaks, I'm going to deal with that this evening. Here's another. Read this one before. No sit time. No sit time. Please take breaks as authorized. So they're putting an emphasis on authorized, right? If you need a cool place, check in. Check in with who? Now here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with me calling in when I'm supposed to take breaks as needed in the heat. I'm a CCA, okay? I'm a new hire. I'm hot. It is excruciating. I'm in the sun. I've not quite learned, I'm learning how to do things in the heat. I was told to bring a cooler. I did that. And some ice, make sure I got plenty to drink, and a towel. I'm going to put that in my cooler and make sure that I put that on my neck and on my head, trying to get my core down. And I got a hat now because my union told me to get a hat. And my managers tell me, hey, you're new here. You need to really be worried about keeping your job. You need to keep moving out there. Notice you're taking too many kind of breaks. Well, my union told me to take breaks. Well, you need to call in. You need to call in when you're going to take a break. Okay, I'm going to call in. Well, let me call in. Hey, this is Corey, the CCA out here on Route 11. I'm going to have to you're taking way too many breaks. We're going to have to talk to you when you get back. You're taking way too many breaks out there. This isn't common. It's hot everywhere. I'm hot when I walk to my car. It's hot. We're all hot. It's hot everywhere. So, yeah, you're taking too many breaks. That's what's fixing to happen with that shit. You're taking too many breaks, Corey. I'm watching you on here on these monitors, and you took a break here. Look, you weren't moving. Right here at this address, you weren't moving for a minute and a half. What were you doing there? That's a break. And right up here, you're sitting 3 minutes right here, Corey. That's 5 minutes of break time already. You're just all you're trying to do is drag your feet and get more money. That's what you're trying to. You're trying to steal from the service. And right here, you had a break. What was this break? 10 minutes. Well, I was told I got a 10-minute break. CCAs don't get breaks. Regulars get lunch breaks and rest breaks. You don't get breaks. You need to come on. Right here, you had another 2 minutes. We're going to have to talk to you when you get back. That's what's going to happen with these low-down motherfuckers in the summer, is you're fixing to see that shit. Here's one. This ain't got nothing to do with safety, but somebody sent me this. Also forgot the POOM said that it's carrier's responsibility to have the right uniforms. And if you don't have it, you won't be working. The allowance gets you the basics. You have to pay for the rest. I ain't paying for a motherfucking thing. I'm not paying for shit. You want to send me home? You're going to pay me admin leave. I get an allowance. It will buy me a pair of shoes, which go out in about 6 months on my parking loop, and maybe 2 pairs of shorts and 2 pairs of shirts. Okay? I'm not a motherfucker who works 4 or 5 days a year. I work all year long. My shit gets wore out. Shirts look like hell because of that bag. Shoes are just tear apart in about 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, depending on the weather. Don't skip authorized breaks, including lunch breaks, when there are high heat conditions. Don't skip authorized breaks. Now, what is an authorized break? Is it a break that I have to call in and get authorized, or is it one of my 2 10-minute breaks? It doesn't say. So, if I'm a new hire, again, a CCA, and I see don't skip authorized breaks, what I'm thinking is I've got 2 10-minute breaks and a lunch break, because it says don't skip authorized breaks, including lunch breaks. Well, to me, that means one of the 2 10-minute breaks and a lunch break. That's a dangerous message, and I'll address that later. Again, stay hydrated, keep cool, and reach out to this individual if you have any sit time. So that's the new word, sit time. That's their new thing, sit time. We got sit time. What does that mean? Well, you're just sitting there. Well, I'm supposed to take breaks as needed in the heat, right? I'm not going to walk around doing that shit. I'm not going to walk around out in the fucking heat when I'm supposed to be taking breaks as needed from the fucking heat. I'm probably going to be sitting on my ass when I do it. So, safe travels and enjoy your day. Fuck off. Gotta love it when Postal Service management intentionally keeps the AC off at the office until most all the carriers have left for the street. It's a speed-up tactic designed to get us to work faster in the office and get out on the street more quickly. And it's also a gross violation of carrier safety, particularly now as we head into the hottest part of the year. Have you heard that before? I read this one earlier. Can you please give me the steps to take regarding management having carriers working in the office with no AC? I tell y'all that they hate us. I tell you that. I show you that every fucking week. The employer does not like us, right? We are only numbers that they have to meet. And when we don't, they will put our lives in jeopardy. The only one who cares about our safety is us. That's it. So what we will do, we will educate ourselves on first how to stay safe, what to do out in the heat, and then how to grieve these motherfuckers into oblivion when they keep doing this shit, okay? Here's another one somebody sent me from their manager. You only had an hour. You will complete everything, mail and packages. We do not bring back mail. I'll extend your time to 7, but I'll be looking into why you couldn't get this done. I gave so-and-so 2.5 hours. How is it a woman is outdoing you? It's called slacking and doing things you're not approved to do. I can actually watch you through GPS. It will show me everything you did or didn't do. Now, this is a manager.
I gotta leave for the doctor in like 5.
Again, I'm going to read that. I don't know if y'all heard that. I just got in trouble. So I'm back now. It's been about an hour and a half. I'm having to edit that out because I forgot I had to take my wife to her doctor's appointment. So I'm going to do the other episode tomorrow because now I'm back so late that I'm not going to do that episode tonight. So I have Rob Cozier on. We'll do one tomorrow night, okay? And so that's the beauty of editing things. That's the beauty of editing things. I look up, she's sitting there looking at me. I'm like, hi, baby. She's like, you're supposed to take me to a doctor's appointment. So I'm going to read this thing again, and then we're going to get to this taking care of ourselves in the heat. So here's this message. And I would grieve this message. Under mutual respect. You only had an hour. You will complete everything, mail and packages. We do not bring mail back. I'll extend your time to 7, but I'll be looking into why you couldn't get this done. I gave so-and-so 2.5 hours. How is it a woman outdoing you? It's called slacking and doing things you're not approved to do. So you're going to have to prove that, okay? But that's a mutual respect grievance. And how is a woman outdoing you? What does that got to do with anything? We don't have memos based off of people's times based on race, sex, gender. We don't have that. We're all light blue. We have no street standard. It doesn't say you have this standard unless you're a male or female. It doesn't do that. So I would grieve that. But that's just another way of showing you how they think of us. Here's another one. Beyond safety message, avoid heat stress. Drink plenty of water. Take, in all caps, take scheduled breaks to rest and cool off. Take scheduled breaks. Now, what are my scheduled breaks? I don't have a schedule with breaks on there. Take scheduled breaks. So again, that's something that they'll use to try and get my carriers to be unsafe. Maybe a segment for your show. Management is bringing carriers back to the office for not meeting their estimated office and street time. Poor job performance, even though 3996 are completed. They're bringing carriers back for not meeting their estimated office and street time. Now, where do I have an estimated office and street time? Where can I find that up? Because I have no street standard. So I can't have an estimated street time. I have no street standard. And where do I find my estimated office time? Where do I find that at? That's probably based off of DOS and PET. Again, we're not doing a very good job of educating nationally about DOS and PET because this is where they're headed. This is where they're going. DOS and PET. Okay? That's where they're going to try to make time. You're going to have a reduction in fixed office time. That's coming. And then they're going to start pressing DOS and PET. They're going to start pressing stationary events or sit time as they call it. And they're going to tell you to only take breaks that are authorized. And so we're going to have to combat this ourselves. And we will. We'll do that. So I'm going to read some things to you. This is just general heat safety things. How to dress, what to eat, what to drink, okay? And we'll do it again maybe next week. And we'll do it maybe the week after that, all right? Because we're in the midst of it. We're going to take care of ourselves, all right? Light Blue is going to take care of ourselves. That's what all these podcasts are for. I know people don't like them. They don't like podcasts. I don't care. We're going to educate ourselves. Right? That's what we're going to do. Light Blue has stepped up and filled the void of our agent who has been absent for the last 3 years under this clown-ass president. But here's Article 14, Section 1, Responsibilities. It is the responsibility of management to provide a safe working conditions in all present and future installations and to develop a safe working force, period. There's nothing after that, period. And I say the union will cooperate. But it says this, it is the responsibility of management to provide safe working conditions. And so, since they're not going to do that, we will do that ourselves, all right? We're going to handle this ourselves. We're going to educate ourselves on how to remain safe during the heat, whether it's through what we drink, what we eat, what we wear, things that we do, okay? So we will pick up the slack. We have an agent who has been missing in action the last 3 years. And what has happened during that last 3 years is Light Blue has picked up that slack through podcasts, through education. We've decided to do it ourselves, okay? So if you go MIA, we'll take over. And that's what we did. And that's what we're going to do here and we're going to continue to do. But we're going to cover things today. I'm just going to read things to you just to get us better prepared for what we're going to do in the heat. Always going to bring a cooler, a big enough cooler to put your food in there, to put your drinks in, and plenty of ice. As the ice melts throughout the day, if it does, we have a towel we're going to use. We're going to put it in that ice. And we're going to have that, put that on our necks, put that on our heads, reduce that core. A lot of people have some very ingenious things that they're putting in their vehicles to produce cool airflow, mist. Those things are pretty cool. They hook them up to their air conditioner or their vent and stuff like that that produces good, cool air, which is what we're going to need. But I'm going to read some stuff to you, okay? This is from the Department of Labor. Prevention, water, rest, and shade. Now, these are the things that if management attempts to agree with other things that we're going to read later, we're going to put in all the information that we can on rest, water, and shade, okay? And we're going to say, hey, here's what the Department of Labor said. Here's what OSHA said. Here's what the CDC says. So these scanner messages will not trump any of those things. The scanner messages say, hey, no sit time. Keep it moving, beat the heat. What was the other one? I don't know if I read that one or not, but it was one that was put up. You need to pick up pace. That's another one that was put out. You need to pick up pace, and everybody was making fun of it, showing the pace salsa. And so is this what you're talking about? You need to pick up pace. That's what they're going to do. We're nothing more than cattle. All right? That's all we are to them. We're just cattle out in the field. Pick up the pace. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. And so, fuck them. But here's water, rest, and shade. Water. Employers should provide cool waters for workers to drink. Now, this is from the U.S. Department of Labor. Proper hydration is essential to prevent heat-related illness. For those working 2 hours or more, also provide access to additional fluids that contain electrolytes. For short jobs, cool potable water is sufficient. Workers should be encouraged to drink water frequently while working in the heat, not just if they are thirsty. For longer jobs that last more than 2 hours. Now remember, we have a proposition that our president has floated out there to keep us out there 10 hours. Mandatory a day. Okay? Not 8, but 2 additional hours in the heat. And so this would apply. For longer jobs that last more than 2 hours, employees should provide electrolyte-containing beverages such as sports drinkers, but they're not going to do that, and we can't grieve that. This is just the Department of Labor. Workers lose salt and other electrolytes when they sweat. Substantial loss of electrolytes can cause muscle cramps and other dangerous health problems. Water cannot replace electrolytes. Other types of beverages are needed. Water or other fluids provided by the employer should not only be cool, but should also be provided in a location that is familiar to the workers near the work, easy to access, and in sufficient quantity for the duration of the work. Workers should be aware that use of certain personal protective equipment, certain types of respirators, and impermeable clothing can increase the risk of heat-related illness. Workers should not rely on feeling thirsty to prompt them to drink. They should be reminded to drink on a regular basis to maintain hydration throughout their shift and beyond. Rest. When heat stress is high, employers should require workers to take breaks. The length and frequency of rest breaks should increase as heat stress rises. In general, workers should be taking hourly breaks whenever heat stress exceeds the limit shown in Table 2, and generally that's over 85 degrees. Breaks should last long enough for workers to recover from the heat. How long is long enough? That depends on several factors, including environmental heat, WBGT, and I'll tell you the explanation of that in a second, because you're going to hear WBGT a lot, and the worker's physical activity level, as well as the individual worker's personal risk factors. The location of the breaks also matters. If workers rest in a cooler location, they'll be ready to resume work more quickly. Breaks should last longer if there is no cool location for workers to rest. Some workers might be tempted to skip breaks. In hot conditions, skipping breaks is not safe. Employers should make sure that workers rest during all recommended break periods. And I'm going to read this to you. Somebody sent me this, and I'm going to read it. Had a stand this morning that there's no such thing as a heat break. Use our lunch break. These fuckers are going to kill somebody. I agree with you. I'll read that again. Had a stand up this morning that there's no such thing as a heat break. use our lunch break. Okay? And so I'll read this again. Some workers might be tempted to skip breaks. Well, when you tell me to take only authorized breaks and you tell me I have to call in, which would lead to probably me being harassed and bullied. And then you have dumb fucks like Pooms and station managers saying, hey, you have no additional breaks in the heat. It's your lunch break. It says some workers might be tempted to skip breaks out of fear, okay, out of fear of retribution. And maybe I get disciplined like our brother Mr. Gates, and when that discipline comes, I fear for my job. I may be tempted to skip breaks because all management's messaging is to me and my people is no breaks, skip breaks, keep it moving, okay? So some workers might be tempted to skip breaks. In hot conditions, skipping breaks is not safe. Employers should make sure that workers rest during all recommended break periods. Both NEOSH and ACGIH have recommendations on appropriate lengths of work and rest cycles as a function of the workload and the WBGT, which I'll explain in a second. But that NEOSH, if you look up the recommendations, management would never go for it, but I believe it says over 80 degrees, 15 minutes break time per hour is what they recommend. And if it gets up to like 90 degrees, 30 minutes. If it's 100 degrees, 40 minutes. It's something that they would be like, what the fuck? But shade. Workers should be given a cool location where they can take their breaks and recover from the heat. Outdoors, this might mean a shady area, an air-conditioned vehicle, a nearby building or tent, or an area with fans and misting devices. I'm going to do all those things if I get overcome by the heat. If I feel myself getting overcome by the heat. Now, everybody's going to be hot. We're going to be hot, okay? But you know your body. You know your body better than anybody else. You got to take that break. If you need to leave your route and go sit in an air conditioning, we'll justify that if management attempts to do anything, okay? We have plenty of stuff to justify that. All right, here's the, this is from examples of work rest schedule for workers in high temperatures. And this is something I pulled offline, but it talks about the WBGT, ambient temperature and humidity, often measured using wet bulb globe temperature, WBGT. So you'll hear that a lot. Ambient temperature and humidity, often measured using wet bulb globe temperature, or WBGT. Interpreting the WBGT scale. The wet bulb globe temperature is the most accurate metric for heat stress in the environment because it includes air temperature, humidity, solar blaze tables, and determine recommended work rest schedules. Light work. Now, we would not be considered light work. We would be considered moderate work, okay? Because under moderate work, it says if you're walking flat surfaces carrying at least 20 pounds. Now, that's what I do every day. I carry at least 20 pounds in my bag. So I would be considered moderate work under this sample. 80 to 85 degrees, 15 minutes rest per hour. Okay? Now this thing, where was this thing? So you can pull this up. Heat stress articles, examples of work rest schedule for workers in high temperatures. I can't remember I just looked it up, but sample work rest schedules by workload. Moderate work, that's us, pushing carts, shoveling light materials, frequent walking, and it's walking with 20 or more pounds. 80 to 85 degrees, 15 minutes of rest per hour. Okay? 85 to 88.5, 30 minutes of rest per hour. Above 88.5, 45 minutes of rest per hour or halt work is needed. So that'd be something to put in your file. How to implement a work rest schedule in practice. Designing a work rest schedule is just for the first step. Implementation requires attention to logistics, supervision, and clear communication. And then it gives that. But that's what they say. That's what they say, okay? That's Nielsen and Kellerman. That's Nielsen Kellerman. But yeah, if it's 80 to 85, 15 minutes of rest, that's the importance of rest. And that's why I'm telling you that. That's the importance of rest. Okay? This is the CDC. CDC, National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health. NIOSH. Remember I talked about those earlier. NIOSH. That's National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health. And I'm going to go to page 2. Hydration. Employers should provide the means for appropriate hydration of workers. Water should be portable, 15 degrees Celsius, 59 degrees Fahrenheit, and made accessible near the work area. Some of y'all had questions about management saying, hey, bring your water with you when you come. Estimate how much water will be needed and decide who will get and check on water supplies. Provide individual drinking cups for each worker. Now, these things they're not going to do. Encourage workers to hydrate themselves. Workers should drink an appropriate amount to stay hydrated. For moderate activities in the heat that last less than 2 hours, drink 1 cup of water every 15 to 20 minutes. Now, we're fixing to be out there 9.5 to 10 hours, okay? If they implement this dumbass four-day schedule. For moderate activities in the heat that last less than 2 hours, drink 1 cup, 8 ounces of water every 15 to 20 minutes. If sweating lasts for several hours, drink sports drinks containing balanced electrolytes, which are critical. Avoid alcohol and drinks with high caffeine or sugar. Generally, fluid intake should not exceed 6 cups per hour. Rest breaks. Now, this is the CDC. Employees should ensure and encourage workers to take appropriate rest breaks to cool down and hydrate. Is that happening? Is that what y'all see in these messages? Is that what y'all see? Permit rest and water breaks when a worker feels heat discomfort. Modify work rest periods to give the body a chance to get rid of excess heat. Assign new and unacclimatized workers lighter work and longer, more frequent rest periods. Shorten work periods and increase rest periods as temperature, humidity, and sunshine increase, when there is no air movement, if protected clothing or equipment is worn, for heavier work. That's shorten work periods and increased rest periods. Here's drinks. 10 drinks that hydrate you as well or better than water. Okay? So here's something you can put in your cooler. 10 drinks that hydrate you as well as or better than water. And let's see what they say. And this is from Very Well Health. Number 1 is coconut water, and you'll generally see that amongst the top 5 and anything that you pull up. Coconut water is a hydrating beverage. It is rich in carbohydrates and electrolytes, minerals in the blood and bodily fluids that help balance hydration levels. So number 1 here is coconut water. It has calcium, magnesium, potassium, and sodium. It is naturally low in sugar than other rehydrating drinks and contains vitamins, antioxidants, and other nutrients supporting various health aspects. So number 1 here on this one is coconut water. Number 2, sparkling water. If you prefer a bit of flavor besides the carbonation, consider flavor sparkling waters or infusing unflavored sparkling water with fresh fruits or herbs. But sparkling water, they said, it has the same benefit as water. Okay? Herbal tea. It may not seem like a hot cup of tea would quench your thirst, but this beverage option is more hydrating than it appears. Teas are mostly water. And it goes on to tell you what it has. Number 4, milk. And generally milk would be the number 1 out of everything that you see. Milk is number 1 for some reason. I was going to tell you right here, but milk. Some researchers suggest that non-fat skim and whole milk may be more hydrating than plain water. In one study, participants who drank milk could retain fluids for extended periods compared to those who drank water, highlighting the drink's hydration properties. You will also get several key vitamins, minerals, and nutrients when drinking milk, which include calcium, potassium, protein, vitamin D. Right? Fruit juices. Fruit and vegetable juices. whether freshly juiced at home or prepackaged from the store, can offer hydration along with a boost of key vitamins and minerals. Good fruit or vegetable juice options include apple juice, carrot juice, celery juice, cranberry juice, orange juice, and tomato juice. Although fruit juices tend to be high in sugar, they also provide a good amount of water. If you're opting for a store-bought version, consider selecting a juice labeled 100% fruit juice for the best hydration results. Aloe vera juice. Aloe vera juice is a low-calorie, hydrating beverage made from the flesh of the aloe vera plant and filtered water. In addition to being water-dense, aloe vera juice is rich in key vitamins, nutrients, and antioxidants. Broth. Broth contains mostly water, but bone broth in particular is a source of key electrolytes that help your body retain water, keeping you hydrated. Animal research suggests that the main minerals found in bone broth include all the key rehydration elements. Smoothies, and that's another one that you'll see generally in the top 5. Smoothies, which use fresh or frozen fruits or green vegetables, combined with a liquid base such as water, milk, or juice, may be the most hydrating. These recipes can also be refreshing, naturally sweet, and contain antioxidants. Damn, are my teeth coming out or something? I can't read for some reason. It's hard to pronounce words. I need to put my dentures back in. 9. Sports or electrolyte drinks. Sports or electrolyte drinks. And I'll talk about these a lot later. Sports and electrolyte drinks are intended to rehydrate the body and replenish lost minerals essential for hydration. They typically contain key electrolytes like sodium, but may include other flavors and artificial sweeteners. Some experts suggest that these versions may also be best utilized for rehydrating during or after an endurance or intense workout. 10. Pickle juice. Pickle juice I've always heard is great for cramping. But pickle juice has no calories, but is high in the electrolytes, sodium, and potassium. This is why some advocates promote it as one of the ultimate hydrating drinks when recovering from a hangover or an illness. However, due to its high sodium content, up to 821 milligrams per serving, pickle juice may not be the best hydration source for people with high blood pressure. Okay, so there's those. What types of drinks are less hydrating? What types of drinks are less hydrating? Alcohol is number 1. Excessively sugary drinks, such as soft drinks, energy drinks, or sweetened iced tea. Prepackaged beverages, such as protein drinks, without enough water to balance them, or thick smoothies may slow down how quickly you are able to rehydrate. Signs of dehydration. Dehydration occurs when your body does not have the amount of fluids it needs to function efficiently. This can result from fever, insufficient fluids, or other factors. Common symptoms of dehydration are dark yellow urine or urinating less than usual, dizziness, dry mouth, dry skin, excessive thirst, fatigue, or headache. So there's that one. Best electrolyte supplements of 2026. Best electrolyte supplements of 2026, because it's all about putting those electrolytes back into the body. If you just drink water all day long, we're going to be in trouble. Our body loses too much while we're out there in this heat. Make sure we're putting those electrolytes back in it. Electrolytes can electrify your workout, literally. These essential minerals send electrical charges throughout your body, helping to regulate energy levels and endurance, muscle function, and healthy cognition. Traditionally, electrolytes have been added to flavored beverages and served up as sports drinks. Primary benefits of electrolytes: they help maintain optimal hydration levels, promote energy and endurance, support healthy cognition, aid in muscle recovery and tissue repair, offer protection against everyday cramps. If your body is a circuit board, electrolytes such as sodium, potassium, and chloride are the electricity conductors transmitting important information throughout your body's wiring. These electrical impulses regulate fluid levels, signal tissue repair, encourage energy production, and so much more. As you sweat, you lose electrolytes, just as a disruption in an electrical circuit can lead to a malfunction. Electrolyte imbalance can affect your ability to properly hydrate and result in muscle fatigue, making it harder to push yourself during a workout and recover effectively. Luckily, a good electrolyte powder can make it easier than ever to keep your body replenished with these vital minerals. These small, travel-friendly packets are loaded with naturally derived ingredients that support workout intensity while fighting everyday muscle cramps and soreness. But not all electrolyte powders are created equal. For best results, here's a short list of key ingredients to look for in a premium electrolyte powder. Sodium, potassium, chloride, and vitamin C. Liquids versus powders. Electrolyte supplements come in both powder and liquid forms, each with distinct advantages and disadvantages. Pre-made beverages are a quick and easy way to replenish electrolytes without the added step of mixing or shaking. However, if you take electrolytes on a regular basis, powders are far more cost efficient. For starters, every time you buy a pre-made beverage, you're also footing the bill for single-use packaging and the solvent used to mix everything together, aka water. Whether you're drinking a 64-ounce bottle or pocket-sized drip pouch, electrolyte drinks simply can't match their powdered counterparts, which are typically more concentrated, produce less waste, and whose compact size makes them ideal for rehydrating on the go. Just remember to add water. What to avoid? Artificial sweeteners, high sugar. A quality formula is perhaps the most important consideration when it comes to electrolytes, but it's not the only thing. Here are a few bonus tips to ensure you're getting the most bang for your buck. Bonus checklist. It's got that, which you won't care about. What to look for. What to look for. Sodium, at least 450 milligrams. Chloride, at least 400 milligrams. Potassium, at least 300 milligrams. Magnesium, and that it's sugar-free. What else to consider? Antioxidant support, under 30 calories. Now here's the number one hydration thing. It's called hydration, and they give it an A+. Hydration is number one. Number two, electrolyte drink tablets. Electrolyte drink tablets. Number three, hydration multiplier, liquid IV. And that's what my wife uses. Hydration multiplier, liquid IV. LMNT. LMNT. And the pros of that is 10 calories, it's sugar-free, it's got 2 carbs, it's keto and vegan. Okay, that's LMNT. Drip Drop. Now this is one I read last year. Not this thing here, but Drip Drop. I remember that from last year. Drip Drop, ORS. And so those are the top 5. So that's something that you're going to need to look into and get yourself. 8 dietitian-approved tips to stay hydrated and glowing, because we all want to glow. 8 dietitian-approved tips to stay hydrated and glowing. When the summer heat hits its peak, staying hydrated becomes more than just a matter of comfort. It's a crucial part of supporting your overall health. Hot days and sunshine mean outdoor fun, but they also mean higher temperatures, more sweating, and a greater need for thoughtful hydration. For women, hydration plays a key role in hormonal balance, skin health, digestion, and even mental clarity. As a registered dietitian, I often see dehydration overlooked until fatigue, headaches, or digestive issues emerge. So let's dive into why hydration is so important and my top hydration tips for when the temperatures soar. Why hydration matters, especially for women. women's bodies are uniquely influenced by hormonal fluctuations. That on average, women need about 90 ounces of total fluids per day, including water from beverages and food. However, this number can rise during hot weather, physical activity, breastfeeding, illness, especially with fever, vomiting, and menstrual cycles. Here are some key health areas impacted by hydration. Hormonal health. Water helps transport hormones and regulate their activity. Urinary tract health. Staying hydrated helps prevent urinary tract infections, UTIs, which are common in women. Skin appearance. Hydrated skin is more resilient against dryness and sun exposure. Plus, it helps us look more glowy. Digestive support. Water aids in preventing constipation, a common concern, especially during travel or dietary changes in the summer heat. Begin each morning with 8 to 12 ounces of water, coffee, or tea, because coffee and tea are very hydrating. Okay? Overnight, your body loses fluid through breathing and sweating, so replenishing first thing in the morning helps reboot your system. Extra points if you add a splash of lemon juice to help jumpstart digestion. Eat your water. Eat your water. About 20% to 30% of your daily fluid needs to come from food. Include water-rich seasonal produce like, number 1, cucumbers. And that's the number 1 on anything. Number 1 is cucumbers. Number 2, watermelon. Number 3, strawberries, zucchini, lettuce, and spinach. Okay? These foods also provide essential electrolytes like potassium and magnesium. To incorporate them, try watermelon salad with cucumber, feta, and mint, or marinated zucchini with farro, chickpeas, and parmesan. And that's something that you can get and pack into a light container and put that in your cooler, okay? And you can eat that throughout the day, and that will constantly replenish your electrolytes, and it's tasty as well. I just said that myself. That's not on here. Welcome electrolytes wisely. When you sweat heavily, it's not just water you're losing. Salt, potassium, magnesium, and other minerals go with it. Follow these hydration tips to add back electrolytes naturally and effectively. Include electrolyte sources from fruit products like coconut water, yogurt, milk, bananas, or a pinch of sea salt. Make your own electrolyte mocktail by mixing 1 or 2 cups of water, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt or Himalayan pink salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar, and the juice of a half a lemon or lime. Try this one if you have coconut water on hand. For women who experience heavy menstrual cycles, adding a magnesium-rich drink may also support fluid balance and reduce cramps. Create a hydration schedule. Waiting until you're thirsty means you're probably already behind, and that's critical. When you're staying hydrated, you have to drink constantly. Do not wait until you're thirsty. When you wait until you're thirsty, you're probably on the other side of it, okay? It's probably too late. Drink constantly. Hydrate constantly. If you have a cooler, get those small milks that you can put in there and do that, or coconut water, whatever you choose. But hydrate constantly, okay? Just like this fool ass that this girl comes back and says, hey, I don't feel good going back out there in that heat. It is hot. Well, you didn't call us and tell us you're having issues with the heat, so get back out there. I don't have to wait until I'm dying to call you, okay? If I know my body and I know that, hey, that was rough right there. If I go back out, maybe get myself into some trouble. Remember, safety depends on us. But that is, that's what that is right there. Waiting until you're thirsty means it's probably already behind you. Set reminders throughout the day or use a water tracking app to ensure you're drinking consistently, especially between meals, after sun exposure, or after exercise. Make water fun again. Hydration shouldn't be boring, keeping it interesting so you'll actually want to drink it. Try infusing water with fresh fruits like lemon, orange, berries, and cucumber, or add a sprig of mint, hibiscus tea, or basil. If you're a fan of bubbly things, try sparkling water, or make homemade fruit popsicles for a cool treat. Mind what you sip. Watch the caffeine and alcohol. Both can be dehydrating when consumed in excess. Caffeine. Caffeine has a mild diuretic effect, meaning it can increase urine production and potentially dehydration if not balanced with adequate water intake. Alcohol and sugary drinks as well. One of the easiest ways to monitor hydration is by checking the color of your urine. As a general guideline, pale yellow or light straw colored, you're likely well hydrated. Dark yellow or amber, you may need to drink more fluids. Clear, you might be overhydrating, especially if you're frequently urinating. Daily weight fluctuations can also be a helpful metric for measuring hydration for active individuals. For athletes or those exercising in the extreme heat, tracking daily weight can offer insight into your hydration status, especially following workouts. Weigh yourself before and after exercise. A weight loss of more than 2% of your body weight after a workout suggests dehydration. Rehydrate with 16 to 24 ounces of fluid per pound lost. Listen to your body. One of the most important things we can do to monitor hydration is to tune into our bodies. Dehydration can begin before you feel noticeably thirsty. Common early symptoms include dry mouth or lips, decreased urine output or dark yellow urine, irritability or mood swings. Rehydrating effectively depends on how much fluid you've lost and the context. For general dehydration, sip water gradually and avoid chugging. Aim for small amounts of fluid every 10 to 15 minutes to replenish yourself after exercise or simply sweating from the heat. Include electrolytes, especially sodium and potassium, through sports drinks, electrolyte packets, or food. Okay? So there's that one. Got a couple more and then I'll be done. And again, I'll do this next week as well. We'll just keep doing it, okay? 10 tips for staying hydrated during summer heat. Water. It's one of the most important elements for all living things. Up to 60% of the human body is made of water. It's essential for biochemical reactions, supplying nutrients throughout the body and removing waste, and maintaining blood circulation and body temperature. It aids in digestion, prevents constipation, cushions joints, stabilizes the heart, and protects vital organs and tissues. Without it, or without energy of it, we can become dehydrated. Dehydration might show itself in the form of muscle cramps, fatigue, thirst, and other unpleasant symptoms. Our thinking and cognition can suffer. We might lose appetite, experience mild constipation and lightheadedness, or kidney stones. Getting enough water every day is important to keep your body functioning correctly. Your body needs more water when you're in warmer climates, physically active, running a fever, and having diarrhea or vomiting. It's easy to go through your day without thinking about how much water you've had to drink, or forget to take those sips until you start to feel bad. But especially in the summer heat, water is vital to helping your body stay healthy and hydrated. How much water do you need? According to doctors, there's no one-size-fits-all formula for daily water intake. The amount of water you should drink daily depends on your body, your health conditions, your medications, and other factors. Certain conditions like thyroid disease or kidney or liver or heart problems make it possible for some people to have too much water, while some antidepressants and non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs make people retain water. There's no standard for how much plain water adults and children should drink daily, though there are general recommendations for both women and men. Here's one rule of thumb. Women should drink approximately 2.7 liters of water each day, while men should drink 3.7 liters of total water. You can also divide your body weight in pounds by 2 and drink that number of ounces each day. Regardless, drinking water should be a part of your daily routine, not something you have to go out of your way to do. How to stay hydrated. The key to staying safe and healthy this summer is staying hydrated, and the key is staying hydrated. Follow these 10 steps. Drink water and plenty of it. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, daily fluid intake recommendations vary by age, sex, pregnancy, and breastfeeding. Start drinking a cup of water each morning when you wake up or a glass before bed. Have another glass with every meal. Drink 1 or 2 cups working out. To ward off dehydration, drink fluids gradually throughout the day. Know the signs of dehydration. Does your skin feel dry, irritated, inflamed, itchy, sensitive? That's a sign of dehydration. Experiencing a headache or feeling dizzy or fatigued? These are signs too. Muscle cramps, rapid breathing, fainting, and not urinating or having very dark yellow urine are others. If you're experiencing any of these symptoms, the simple solution is to get out of the heat and drink plenty of liquids. There are small over-the-counter options like Pedialyte and Hydrolyte that balance out electrolytes and sodium with dehydration as well. If your dehydration is severe, call 911. Check your urine. A good measurement of hydration is the color of your urine. Pale urine, similar to the color of straw, indicates proper hydration, and while darker urine is a sign that you need more water. A dark yellow or amber color means you may have mild to severe dehydration. Of course, other medications and health conditions could affect this. If you're concerned about the color of your urine, consult your primary care physician. Avoid alcohol, sugary drinks, and or caffeine. Tricky fact, some liquids work against your hydration. Drinks like coffee, sugary sodas, beer, wine, and hard liquor, lemonade, sweet tea, energy drinks, smoothies, and flavored milk are all culprits. They are loaded with sugar, sodium, and other ingredients that remove water from your tissues. Consider swapping some of these out daily or rehydrating with more water for each dehydration drink you consume. 5. Cool down. Proper hydration isn't just about drinking water. It's about regulating your body temperature too. During summer, when the risk for heat stroke is at its highest, wear light, loose-fitting clothing in light colors. Schedule strenuous sports and physical activities during cooler times of the day. Protect yourself from the sun with hats and other shade accessories. Take drink breaks often and mist yourself with a spray bottle if you become overheated. Eat foods with high water content. Did you know that approximately 80% of our water intake comes from drinking water? The other 20% comes from food. All whole foods and vegetables contain some water, but snack on these for maximum benefit. Cucumbers, celery, tomatoes, radishes, peppers, cauliflower, watermelon, spinach, strawberries, broccoli, and grapefruit. They all contain 90% water or higher. Replenish when you sweat. Play a sport, heading out on a hike. It's essential to drink water throughout these activities. Your sweat rate, the humidity, and how long you've exercised are all factors to consider. Proper hydrations mean getting enough water before, during, and after exercise. The American Council on Exercise recommends these guidelines before, during, and after a workout. Drink 17 to 20 ounces 2 to 3 hours before you exercise. Drink 8 ounces 20 to 30 minutes before you exercise. Drink 7 to 10 ounces every 10 minutes during exercise. Drink 7 to 10 ounces every 10 minutes during exercise. Drink 8 ounces no more than 30 minutes after exercise. And then it talks about drinking while you're on a plane, which we don't care about. Last one, how to stay hydrated over the summer. Staying hydrated during the warm summer months is an important part of enjoying the season. Whether your plans include more walks or bicycle rides, soaking up the sun, or taking that long-awaited vacation, make sure you drink enough water to stay hydrated. This is necessary. It will keep your body and mind functioning at its best. So how do you know if you're drinking enough water? Let's tap into the facts and explore some of the best tips to keep you hydrated all summer long. Why our bodies need water. Water is critical to overall health. Every cell, tissue, and organ in the human body relies on it to function properly. According to the Mayo Clinic, water makes up about 50 to 70% of our body weight. So how can losing just a fraction of water negatively affect your body and mind? It's all about dehydration. When your body doesn't have enough water to perform normal functions, Water is critical to your health because it regulates your body temperature, flushes waste from the body, supports a healthy immune system, lubricates and cushions joints, promotes healthy digestion, improves memory, alertness, mood, and sleep quality. How much water should you drink? For the average healthy adult, the general recommendation for water intake is 8-ounce glasses of water per day. That's 64 ounces a day. Everyone's needs vary, however, depending on their activity level and even the climate in which they live. So how much water do you actually need to drink in order to stay hydrated? Here are some general guidelines according to the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine. For men, about 13 cups of total beverages, including water, 100 ounces. For women, about 9 cups of total beverages, including water, 74 ounces. Other water-based beverages such as tea, milk, and coffee contribute to this total beverage recommendation. Plain water is best and calorie-free, so aim for most of you 9 to 13 cups to be water. Here are some factors that may increase your requirements to consider. Activity level. The general rule is if you break a sweat, be sure to replace what you lost. The key is to drink water before, during, and after your workout. Climate. If you live in a hot and humid climate, you're most likely to sweat more, which will cause you to dehydrate more quickly than in cooler places, and were you aware that being in a higher altitude, like in the mountains, can cause you to dehydrate? That goes for flying on an airplane too. Be sure to keep plenty of water on hand wherever you may be. Overall health. While it is important to stay hydrated every day, it becomes even more critical when you're sick. Fevers, vomiting, diarrhea can cause severe dehydration. Tips for optimum hydration. Now you know how much water you need to drink for optimum hydration, but how do you hit the mark without falling short? Here are some quick tips to ensure you're getting your ounces in. Drink about 8 ounces of water upon waking and before bedtime. Did you know your body loses water while you sleep? Throughout the day, drink water to maintain a healthy balance. Don't wait until you are thirsty to start guzzling down your ounces. Were you aware that by the time you start to feel thirsty, you could have lost 2 or 3 cups of your body water composition? Wow. Coffee and tea provide a significant amount of hydration. Opt for sugar-free and skip the cream. Infuse water with slices of fruit, vegetables, or herbs for a refreshing and tasty boost. Use a favorite water bottle. This is a fun way to show off your personality and enjoy every sip. Don't substitute alcohol for water. It's a diuretic that will cause you to become dehydrated. And no, the ice doesn't count. Fun fact, approximately 20% of your fluid intake comes from food, with the remaining 80% from beverages. This is great news for those who love their fruits and veggies. Check out these foods that are delicious as well as hydrating. Cucumbers, celery, tomatoes, watermelon, strawberries, grapefruit, peppers, cauliflower, spinach, radishes, and broccoli. What are the signs of dehydration? Even with the best intentions and effort, dehydration can occur, especially while you're having fun in the sun. Here are some important signs to look for. Thirst, flushed skin, headache, fatigue, increased body temperature, weakness, dizziness, faster breathing and pulse rate, dry mouth, irritability, constipation, nausea, vomiting, dark urine. What to do if you're experiencing dehydration? If you or someone you're with is experiencing signs of dehydration, the first thing to reach for is, you guessed it, a glass or 2 of water. Yes, water is the best when it comes to hydration. If your body is depleted of nutrients and electrolytes, however, you may want to try these other options that will have you replenished and hydrated in no time. Electrolyte-infused water, Pedialyte, Gatorade, coconut water, watermelon. As its name implies, it contains 92% water. Tips for staying cool. When it comes to proper hydration, regulating a healthy body temperature goes hand in hand with drinking plenty of water throughout the day. Here are some great tips to help you stay cool and look cool this summer. Wear a wide-brimmed hat. Opt for light-colored clothing. Wear loose-fitting, lightweight clothes in a breathable fabric. mist yourself with a spray bottle when you feel overwhelmed. The Mayo Clinic diet makes it easy to eat healthy and stay hydrated. Did you know you can eat an unlimited number of veggies on the Mayo Clinic diet? As you learn from this blog, there's an abundance of vegetables that can help keep you hydrated as you eating healthy and nutritious meals and snacks. Now that's a good reason we all need to eat our veggies and then some. So there's that. So that's today's episode. So a few things to help. I'm going to do it again next week. Probably do it again the next week after that, because the most important thing is educating ourselves on how to stay hydrated, how many rest breaks we need, the signs of fatigue and dehydration, and taking care of ourselves. Because as we see every year, management doesn't care whether we live or die. And that's just the cold, hard facts. People may get mad, don't care. That's where we're at, okay? So we'll do that here. We'll educate ourselves here on it's the summer months. Let's get ourselves ready. Make sure that we're eating right, drinking right, wearing the right things, taking breaks as needed in the heat. To the individual that wrote that on Facebook about management, the AC's not working, it's 100 degrees. I told them, I said, tell your carriers if they start getting too hot, go out to their personal vehicles and turn the air conditioner on and sit in there until they cool off. If management attempts to discipline us, we'll have grievances already filed. 1767 is already done. OSHA complaints. People say, OSHA don't care. I want the complaint. I want the complaint in a case file. I'm going to make 50 copies. If they come over 50 carriers for trying to take care of themselves while management's idiotic and don't have air conditioning, then I have one of those in every single case file if they have the discipline, okay? That's what we'll do. And so it's late now. I had to take my wife to the doctor's appointment. I forgot about that. So I'm not going to do the other episode tonight. I'll do it tomorrow with Rob Cozier, okay? So there's just some health tips, okay? Stay healthy. Stay healthy. And we're going to take care of ourselves, all right? I love you, Light Blue. It's hot out there. Please be careful, okay? I don't want anybody to come into this heat. We don't need to lose anybody else, any more of our brothers and sisters. All right. I love you, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. All right. Bye.